Hej alle sammen og velkommen til Danske Bassister. Denne her gang der skal vi se andet afsnit af min snak med Halfdan. Snakken foregik sidste år, og den foregik på engelsk, fordi der er en del fra det store udland, som er interesseret i Halfdan, ikke mindst fordi, at han jo har lavet musik til en masse film af Per Flys film, men også blandt andet Born som tv-serie. Sidste gang i afsnit 1, der snakkede vi lidt om, hvordan Halfdan han startede med at spille bass i Dieters Leader og kom med som sideman i Gangway og i Laid Back og hos Paul Krebs. Og vi snakkede lidt om, hvordan han begyndte at producere med TV2 og forskellige andre ting, hvordan han begyndte at arbejde sammen med Danske Bassister. Her i det her afsnit, der finder vi ud af, om Halfdan rent faktisk kan spille på kontrabas, og så hører vi lidt om, hvordan han kom i gang med sin filmkarriere. Rigtig god fornøjelse. Not only do you play bass, but you also play a double bass, I've seen. We are rolling here, and I'll try.
Jeg skulle have været taxachauffør. Jeg skulle have været
Because
taxachauffør.
that's
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
should have been a cab driver.
should have been a cab driver.
Yeah, and if we go forward, I think that I can find you here outside a phone booth with
Og en gang imellem.
with a double bass.
Yeah.
Did you play double bass, or was it just
Not
for
on
the show
that,
bit?
not on that particular song, but yes, I did. I did. Yeah.
Og mistænksom.
So did you learn that at the conservatory, or when
No,
did you
actually,
start?
you know,
When
back all the way back to Dieters Leader, you know,
Yeah.
they invited me into that band, and I said, but I got no bass.
You didn't have a bass at the time.
I did not.
No.
And said, okay, we'll buy you one.
You
And
did?
so we went to the local music store, and,
Yeah.
and there was a fretless bass, and I thought, okay,
Why
well,
not?
I can do that.
Yeah.
And so I've been playing fretless bass from day one. So
have?
yeah, I have. Yeah, and it's been working out great. So the step towards double bass wasn't that big.
No.
It wasn't. At any rate, I mean it's a very forgiving instrument compared to violin. I mean,
Well,
you
still.
won't notice. Yeah,
No.
but you won't notice if it's a little. I mean, it's on double bass. It's more about strength, you know, because it's
Yeah.
really a hard instrument.
Yeah, it is.
Mm.
Let's see. We came to the TV2 and other people that wanted you to produce a records. Who did
Oh,
call
yeah.
you then?
Well, I ended up in all kinds of, you know, I had a terrible, because, you know, I've been saying yes to a lot of things, you know
Yeah.
that yourself.
Yeah.
The musical,
Yeah.
on your theatre.
Yeah.
Which was a huge mistake, but
Yeah.
it's like, okay, maybe I can do it,
Yeah.
but let me just say yes.
Yeah.
Well, at the time I did a lot of things. Some
Yeah.
worked out, some did not, and I have to say I'm deeply sorry for those who didn't work out. I was, you know, it was like something unconscious what I was doing.
Yeah.
Anyways, Lis Sørensen wanted to do a Patsy Cline record.
Yeah. Crazy.
Exactly. Yeah, and it was, you know, it was. And I thought, okay, they're calling me, so then they don't want to do something traditional. So let's get into the studio and let's try to record stuff, and then I can middle it.
Yeah.
You know, throw it in the end.
Yeah.
And we did that, and it totally didn't work.
Totally didn't work. No.
And partly I think because Patsy Cline doesn't need meddling. I mean, she's great as she is.
Yeah.
And I think had we done it the right way, we would have had a beautiful Patsy Cline record with Sørensen. But I wasn't man enough to say I can't do it this way.
No.
So I mean, probably the most successful I've done is with TV2.
Yeah. But the reason I wanted to look at Danske Bassister and the video Cab Driver was that the guy who was
I'm
doing
doing
the
like
video,
this with my eyebrows because
the guy who was doing this video for the movie for the video for the taxi driver.
Per Fly.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Because tell us a bit about Per Fly and you, because you go back and you have had a fantastic story together.
Yeah, because you know, the drummer from Dieters Leader went to the film school.
Yeah.
Becoming a film producer, and at a point he called me and said, "Well, there's this guy that you have to meet at film school, who's called Per Fly, and he's gonna become something. I mean, and I want you to team up because I'm absolutely certain that you can do great things."
Yeah.
So we did, and we started creating small films, and gradually we came into bigger films, and suddenly he got his first feature film.
Yeah.
So that was my debut as well. his first feature film.
Called The Bench.
The Bench which was, I mean.
Well, Per did a trilogy with 3 films.
Yeah, but that was later on. The first
He
one
didn't
here,
decide.
nobody wanted to have anything to do with it.
Okay.
Because it was sort of like social realism.
Yeah.
Which is, it was a huge thing in the 60s or the 70s.
Yeah.
And after that, people hated it.
Yeah.
So nobody wanted to distribute it
No.
or release it. And so he called
It
me and
was a
said,
film
okay.
about a bum living on a bench.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Drinking himself to death,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
So he called me and said, okay, I know I have to do this film,
Yeah.
but I can't promise you any money.
Okay.
Are you in?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, no matter what.
Yeah.
So the whole film team, we just went on doing this film for nothing.
Yeah.
And of course we found some money and it became a great hit.
Yeah. It did.
And you know, the film company, they had this letter plastered to the wall
Yeah.
from the distribution.
Yeah.
Originally saying, we don't want to touch your silly little film. Take it away.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it became a hit. So it's
Yeah.
like, okay, the guy who said no to maybe not Beatles, but
No. But still.
yeah. But Per, we continued to, and I've done quite a lot of films with him.
Yeah.
Up until the point where he became so big that his productions were like co-productions.
Yeah.
Where you get money from Canada, then you need a Canadian composer.
Oh yeah.
Which is kind of a pity, really. It's good in the sense that they get the money together and he made some great films.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's I still think that some of the best stuff I've done with him. So,
Yeah.
So I hope in the future we can at some point do something.
Have you a special understanding?
Yeah, because I mean, when doing film music is very much that there's so much music in the film, and a film is like 1.5 hours. So
Yeah.
I mean, you need to communicate about what you want.
Yeah.
Well, I want something that's blue. Okay, but my blue is totally different from your blue.
Yeah.
So we need more words. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Do you want it pointy? Do you
Yeah.
want it like what?
But when you did all the small films, you learned your language. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, and it's. I mean, it's something you invent over time.
Yeah.
So when you've done, when you've got 10 years behind you,
Yeah.
and you're not getting sick and tired from each other,
Yeah.
then you've got language,
Yeah.
and a total understanding without words. So,
Yeah.
and you know what each other want. So I mean, it's very hard to just dissolve that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It
So-
works.
But I
basically.
don't remember. You did the bench and you did the
Inheritance
Yeah, and then you did
manslaughter.
manslaughter.
And we did a children's movie called Proper Better.
I'll have a short break and just to pick
Yeah,
the
great.
burger, okay? Now.
Yeah.
That was
Right.
wonderful.
Wasn't it?
Tudor
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know the way they went to Balticum to find the old belt makers that
Yeah,
that
they
still
could do
do
it.
stuff like that,
Yeah.
you know, from the Russian era.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's great.
yeah. But that was the first film he I think
I think
they
that was his first feature film.
they told him, if you want to do a feature film, you got to do this one first.
Is
I
that
think
true?
it's told- yeah, I think
Oh,
Per
wonderful.
Olvik-
He never
Per
told
Olvik
me.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you had to do that one first to
see.
show.
I see.
Yeah, and it was a wonderful kids movie.
Yeah.
A bit scary with Lisbeth Dale as
Exactly, as a witch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you record that?
Oh yeah, I did. I
Yeah.
did. It was great fun. It was
You
great
gotta
fun.
watch it. I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so did I. So did my kids.
But the phone still rang as a composer, film composer.
Yeah, and I produced all those records, Winter på Far, you know.
Oh, yeah.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
And did small films like not feature films, but like novel
Yeah.
films. What do you
Yeah.
call that? Like 1 hour films for
Short films,
Danish television.
shorties.
Then I think the break came with Danish TV series called Summer,
Yeah.
which was a great success in Denmark.
Yeah.
And after that, they wanted me to do a small political series called Bogen.
Oh.
Right.
You know what it is?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Can you tell us about it?
Well, you're playing Borgen,
Yeah.
the Borgen intro.
Yeah.
Borgen was it was Denmark's radio
Yeah.
wanting to do a series about politics,
Yeah.
Danish politics.
Yeah.
And Adam got all the team together and said, well, you have to realize after this you will never get work again because it's a series about politics in Denmark.
Who want to watch that?
Who want to watch that? The audience will hate it and think it's boring.
Yeah.
The politicians will deny everything, and the media will think that it's just rubbish.
Yeah.
So I mean, after this, really, I mean, if you want to jump ship, jump now. So,
that's what you said.
Of course, but of course we stayed because I mean, doing something that means something.
Yeah.
About politics. I mean, wow, that's exciting.
Yeah.
So back at the time, my colleague Franz Bach had just done The Killing.
Yeah.
And it just went viral all over the world. So
yeah.
I was like, okay, so I'm doing politics, right? But during series 2, the amazing thing happened that it spread all over the world.
Yeah, and
for some reason or another.
Because nobody would have guessed that, would they?
No, nobody would have guessed that. So and just, the whole story about Scandi Noir or the whole Nordic thing, it's very much also about luck and timing and thinking. But it's a great series actually, and it learned me a few valuable lessons as well.
What was that?
Well, you asked me if that was sampled. The thing is that.
I asked about the clock. I think that was the thing I was thinking about.
Well, everything is sampled in there.
It is.
Yeah.
It's not actually strings.
No, because we sat down and brained what are we going to do with this, and this being the absolute power in Denmark, the epicenter of power, and it's very built on tradition, on stone and oak trees, and going all the way back, basically tradition. So we wanted a classical orchestra. We wanted a big, large orchestra. So
why didn't you went to Prague then?
I went to Prague.
You did?
Yeah, I did. Like we do. Like we do.
Yeah.
I would have recorded it in Denmark, but it's with the Danish orchestras at the time. They never had time to do it.
No.
It's like we can do half
got
an
a
hour.
schedule.
They have a schedule.
Yeah.
Because they're so busy proving that they're creating value for the Danish people. So. Anyways, on we went to Prague, and me and an arranger, and we sat down and recorded a lot, and it was sounded like Gone with the Wind. It was very much not what we wanted. No, so on the way back, I ditched everything because my intention was to create something chilling, like ice cold, like cynic kind of music. Without too much motion.
The strings get too warm.
Because they've got a very romantic tradition, at least that orchestra in Prague. So I mean, when you put a long note on paper, it's like and it's gone with the wind. Yeah. So it sounded romantic all of a sudden. So I just scrapped it and went home to my samples. So
but the production. You coming home from Prague, I guess you bring a bill and
but I paid that myself. That's my entire salary going up in flames. Yeah, exactly. I got no money from that first series, but I learned that. I mean, an orchestra is just an instrument, like a banjo. I mean, if the banjo works, then stick to that. Yeah. And so I went home and redid the whole thing with samples, and that worked. So it's like, okay. I mean, in other films, you may want to have strings and the warmth or the sort of human thing, but this was more of a thriller music, really. Yeah, so
there's more cold to it.
Yeah, exactly. So interesting twist.
But really. That's the way to get into the Nordic Noir. Then is that to ditch the Prague orchestra and get into the sampler.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. That's a British company.
What is Nordic Noir, music-wise?
Well, I think it's very much about not telling everything. It's very much about simplicity. Yeah. I guess when I look at a scene, it's much about what does this scene actually need? Yeah. And if all it needs is one tone and a set of spoons, then that's what we'll do in the Nordic countries. Yeah. Whereas in USA, there's always been a tradition to more is more. Yeah. So I mean, why go for just one tone and a set of spoons when we can have 100 strings and everything.
So simplicity.
Simplicity, very much, and very much also, and that's my own idea probably, but the fact that we have no money here for production. Yeah. So we have to write very good scripts and educate very good actors and it's generally all going to happen inside one room.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have to the thing has to be very strong in itself.
Yeah.
And then you can put very small amounts of music on top.
Yeah.
Sprinkle it with music.
Yeah.
Because it works already.
Yeah. But do you bring a recorder around in your life and sample stuff to have a library lying around for
I used to. I used to went on sample hunting.
Oh, gives me a thing we just gotta watch.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, because you gotta tell me about this.
Grisen ville på ferie.
En plettet gris.
Halfdan fandt sin guitar frem og prøvede at spille.
What was that? Well, that's another one of my. Oh yeah. Well, I don't know if that's me, but I'll say yes.
Yeah.
Because I met a girl that wanted me to do a series for kids.
Yeah.
On Danish TV.
Yeah.
Where I should be the composer, and at 9:30 in the morning, there would be a kid outside my door.
Yeah.
With a small, a bag.
Yeah, and they filmed you be the host of the program.
And I would host the thing.
Yeah.
And see to it that during the 2 hours we had,
Yeah.
I would create a song with that based on what she had in her bag.
Yeah.
And in this case, I think she had a horse in her bag, really, like a doll's horse.
Yeah.
And she wanted to do something also about traveling.
Yeah.
So I mean, we had to invent stuff.
You had to.
And it's probably the most. I mean, I think we did 40 episodes, and every morning it was like, no, I'm not gonna make it today, because it's you have 2 hours and you have to do a song, and create some television that's actually worth viewing.
Yeah.
And after that, the kids were totally exhausted.
Yeah.
And then they went on to do a video for the song.
Yeah.
And it's all in the very Scandinavian tradition on, no money, we'll just do it on the kitchen table.
Yeah.
Which was great and very inventive, because we had to invent stuff all the time.
Yeah.
On time, it was sort of a sports event.
Yeah. So pretty exhausting, but the reason why I came to think of this one was because we talked about the samples. Because in the first 2 seasons, you worked in your studio. You got the studio in the old
used to be the old Sony studio,
and you got your studio, a room in there where you work, and that's where the TV was shot.
Exactly.
Yeah, for the first 2 seasons, and they picked up kids around the blocks to make the programs.
Yeah, and the only thing they wanted was, do you have something in your eyes?
Yeah.
They didn't care whether the kids could sing or play or whatever.
No.
I mean, just that they wanted.
Yeah.
They had a burning desire to do it.
Yeah.
Which is a very good thing. Because talent, I mean.
Yeah. What is that? And
what
that
is
is
talent?
Something else.
It's
well.
a desire.
I saw the programs and I enjoyed them. I saw them with my kids.
Well, thank you. Great.
And then for the 3rd season, you went out in a camper.
Yeah, because, I mean, Denmark's radio, I mean, basically we're doing TV for the whole of Denmark.
Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of the TV is produced locally in Copenhagen, so it's like, okay, it's not really Danish.
No.
So we wanted to take it on tour and go out to to northern of Jutland, to the islands, and meet normal Danish average children
Kids
out there
around
do songs with them. Yeah.
And that worked, I think. And you ran around with a sampler there, because that's how
because
I thought about it.
Yeah, because part of this thing was to collect sounds for your song.
Yeah.
Partly because it looked great. They gave us a chance to bang on all kinds of stuff. And we went to old factories, and I think we went to farms and all kinds of spaces. And we went to a car junkyard. Crashed cars. That was really fun.
Yeah. So you got a huge sample library.
I have.
Some of it partly from doing score.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
done by kids. Danish kids.
Yeah. But do you use your mobile phone to record when sometimes you get a sound where you say, I want that sound?
Yeah, I want that sound. Yeah. Well, I haven't really found the good media, because it's always you hear the sound and then it's gone. You look for your stuff, But my phone is probably one of my best tools, really.
Yeah.
Because also for ideas, you can just sing.
Because when you compose,
look silly on the street and sing.
When you compose, you get ideas when you're on the move.
Yeah, it's a method. It's another one method, isn't it? That you go out and you walk.
Yeah.
Or you bicycle, and I think the process of, cycling through traffic and avoiding to get run down by cars. I mean, you invent a soundtrack for that. I
Yeah.
think. And that's what I do.
Because actually you got a beat going on the bike
Yeah,
or
that's
when
well.
you're walking, maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, my shoes and my phone.
Oh, your beat.
It's my basic instruments.
Halfdan, it was so nice to have you here to talk about
My
your
pleasure.
career. Det var min snak med Halfdan E. Jeg håber, jeg snart kan få mennesker i studiet igen, så vi kan tage nogle gode bassistsnakke her på dansk. Men indtil da, synes jeg, det var en rigtig fin løsning, for det var en dejlig snak, jeg havde med Halfdan. Jeg håber, I vil subscribe på kanalen, og jeg håber, at I vil trykke på klokken, så I får notifikationer, når der kommer nye afsnit. Vi ses!